Happy New Year. We're in 2026, and I'm so excited to be with my friend and brother, Michael Bethany. Thank you for being in the car with me.
Let's go, man. I needed a ride, so
You need a ride. Hey, so I know you have this song, Walk With You. Um, can I write the remix and make it ride with you?
no, absolutely
Because
not.
I'm a ride with Jesus.
No, you can write the remix in as long as it stays in this car and not on this camera. That's for you and the Lord, brother. Ride with Him all by yourself.
All by myself. No passengers allowed.
No, no, it's intimacy. You and the Lord.
Intimacy.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a nice way of saying don't get no lawsuit. God will sue you.
yeah. No, no, I'm just saying. I just don't want you to ruin a good thing between you and the Lord, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, Michael, I'm so glad you're with me, and I'm thankful for just getting to know you over the time that I have. And I love your heart for God. Like I can tell you've never once been a performer
Yeah.
or someone that's looking to please me, and I think that God's approval has always been more than enough for you, and that's why He's rewarded you. Um, we're in a new year. This is a good time. This is a special time.
Yeah.
And what are you looking forward to? I saw this clip of you on Instagram a couple days ago. I saved it immediately because I've been waiting on that song to come out. So you got this album. So I'm not even going to get to it.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to do it. You just tell me what is going on and what are you excited about?
I'm looking forward to releasing my new album, Sanctuary. Got new songs coming out January, February. The whole album comes out on the 6th of March. So I'm excited about that. But speaking of March 6th, that's also the week of my Overflow Experience Conference. So
Yes.
March 5th and 6th. I'm excited about all those things because it all kind of culminates together. So
I'm in there, by the way. I was at your first one last year. That was your first annual, right?
yeah, it's my first one.
And it was fire. We weren't allowed to record, but I found someone that posted a story, and I literally saved their story to hear a snippet of one song.
Well, listen, now the whole thing's gonna be out, and when you get there, you can record whatever you want.
So, Overflow Experience. Tell me about the heart behind that.
The heart behind Overflow Experience is about really it's my ministry. My wife and I, we have a ministry called Overflow Culture,
Okay.
and our heart is to disciple creatives. And help them to impact the world, to unleash their giftedness as well as their character and the ability to actually lead. And so I think that, and especially right now, we have more creatives than you probably ever imagined with the, social media and everything. It's unlocked a lot of creativity.
Yes.
But with the fast acceleration of creativity, there's been a deceleration of development. And so people can get to a creative outlet faster than they can get to a process
Yeah.
to become the leader that can sustain through that creative outlet. So Overflow Culture is all about that. Overflow Experience is a conference all about that. So that's one element that I'm excited about, as well as the revival nights is for the church, revival and unity. Just it's the presence of God, and you can't have the presence of God, which creates revival, without unity. I mean, it draws people together. So Revelation 7 and 9 is our theme verse, and it's really all about the picture of seeing all the people of God gathered in one place, experiencing the presence of God and being totally transformed and revived. So Overflow Experience, we call it OXP.
OXP.
This is going to be OXP. It's something that is for the DFW area and beyond, but I really want to focus on our city and really pour life into all of our creators.
So people need to drive in, fly in,
You can
helicopter, and just get in the room, essentially.
Listen, you can take a train, you can take a boat. You can't take a boat however you can get to Dallas, Texas. You want to be here March 5th and 6th for that because it's going to be incredible. And for everybody who's not a musician or creative, whatever, those revival nights are for the unity of the church. Because we want to have folks in the house experiencing the presence of God. And all that we can do in those 2 days, we're going to go all out. But on Friday, during the day, there's going to be a very focused period of time in every session around different subject matters to add value and to pour into and mentor creators.
So as you've poured into creatives, because I've seen a lot of what you're doing, plus you have your Life in the Wild podcast, and so many other things.
Yeah.
What are you discovering? I want you to go more into that development versus giftedness and creativity aspect. Like, talk to me a little bit more about that.
Well, there's a term that I don't think I've heard before, but it's a term that I use, which is the creative dilemma. The creative's dilemma is that the creative person, whatever it is that you do, you discover this talent or this ability, and everyone praises it. You can see it. You fall in love with it. Just like myself, when I learned I could sing, I poured all of my energy into whatever that expression was. And, days turn to weeks, turn to months, turns to years of development. But I was not intentionally developing the other parts of me that needed to be developed to do my actual calling. So you see Joseph in Genesis as, seeing dreams and having, passion about the future as a teenager, but it takes him years and years and years of hardship and challenges to become the leader that he was meant to be. His purpose was not to be a dream interpreter. His purpose was to be a leader. And so a lot of times your creative ability is the key to get to a door that then has a demand on something else that you haven't developed.
Have you experienced that yourself?
100%. I mean, that's my whole life story. When I was 16 years old, my mom said, okay, it's your turn to be over the choir. You're so good. You can sing. You can play the organ. So take over.
Yeah.
And it was like the misnomer was, they're so talented, you should be able to lead. And that's just not true. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you can help other people do it. I can do it on my own. I have my own process, but I haven't really thought through what it takes to lead you. I haven't thought through what it would take for me to prepare myself and you.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother skill set. And it's not as much a natural talent as it is a development process. Everyone is a leader on some level.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what God has given you as far as your capacity long term. But you have to invest in whatever capacity you have to maximize it. So that's...
Also, if you were over the choir and it was fully run by you, that means there's administrative things going on.
Oh,
scheduling.
yeah.
We got rehearsal. Be here at this time. And
Listen.
I'm sure there's an element of how's, at the time, 16-year-old, how is a 16-year-old Michael going to tell folk that probably have kids his age?
You can't.
You're singing wrong or you're doing this.
As soon as things went wrong, I did not have the wherewithal or just the experience or the presence to demand any respect from anyone. And I was the problem. Everything I was doing it the wrong way. So, yeah, I'm more talented than you, but I'm not prepared to lead you. But that's not just for 16-year-olds like myself. That travels with you to your 20s and your 30s. There's so many people who get older and older and should be at the point where they should be able to lead.
Yeah.
But they've spent all those years doing their preference and not the process. So their preference is my creative outlet. I love doing this. I love singing because it's easy. I hang out with people who like doing what I like to do. If you don't do what I like to do, I don't hang out with you. But that means you also miss all the sharpening that you would have gotten if you were hanging out with people that were more about process than preference. And so for me, I learned that, in a different way. My father forced me into electrical engineering.
Okay.
And I didn't want to have anything to do with that. But my father was like, you need to trade. You need to know how to do something else other than sing. And so for a number of years, I was going in the opposite direction of music. And it was totally against my will. But it was all the will of God because it helped me to develop things I never would have developed. And I learned disciplines. And there's a difference between discipline and talent. If you sing, you need discipline to sing well.
Yeah.
But singing or creative activities kind of have their own built-in reward because it's fun. But when it comes to administration, there's not a lot of reward to sitting there and organizing things.
Right.
It's just boring. Yeah. There's no melody to it. There's no vibe to it. There's no rhythm to it. You got to play some music so you can forget that you're doing this, so you can get through it.
Yeah.
But having to do this for a season of my life gave me disciplines that talents would never give me. I was forced to do it. And I think we have to learn disciplines are just that. It's a value system that causes you to choose something you would never choose. And you have to force your flesh to wake up early because you know it's the best thing for whatever it is you're doing. You have to force your flesh. You have to force yourself to be a good parent because naturally you're going to be lazy and not take care of business.
Yeah.
But you know that if I don't, there's no one's going to feed this kid but me. And that is the discipline of life. Whatever your purpose is, it's a baby. Whatever your calling is, it's a baby. And ain't nobody going to nurture that but you. You got to get up and go. But until you start to see the value of the baby of your purpose, you'll never get up and do what you have to do to make sure that that thing gets fed and needs get met and you make the progress necessary.
So you said something earlier, was that David was not, his ultimate was not to be a dream interpreter.
Oh, yeah, Joseph.
Joseph. Oh my, they're going to cancel me for that.
No, you good.
All right. So, what are the things for you that that you discovered that beyond singing that were inside of you?
Well, I learned eventually, there was a gentleman who told me that I have the gift of leadership.
Wow.
And there is a spiritual gift of leadership. And I was like, well, I don't know about that. I mean, I like music. I mean, I had already gone through school and done a lot of things, and I never thought about leadership.
Right.
But what was happening was I was developing it all along.
Oh.
And I was displaying it, but I wasn't acknowledging it. So eventually he acknowledged it. And once he acknowledged it, he challenged me like, hey, you need to start paying attention to what God has given you with like a natural ability and a leaning. And not only that, you got to remember, I'm one of 7 siblings. I only have one younger than me. So I was the baby for a while.
Yeah.
My mentality growing up as a kid was never to lead because everyone was telling me what to do. So when I became an adult, it wasn't natural for me to think about leading anyone. It was natural for me to just make everyone laugh and just enjoy myself and be, in the middle of the mix. But God had something different for me. So that was something I wasn't expecting, but it was music that put me in position to have influence and impact on people's lives in a way that I never thought was natural for me. And it's not about what's natural for you. It's what God has called you to do.
Yes.
So I guess what Moses is saying, it's not natural for me to speak in front of people. Well, that's not the point.
Yeah.
If it's not natural for you to do it, then God's going to get the glory when you succeed.
Absolutely.
So
many times our dream is something that we can't fulfill.
Yeah,
it's going to be bigger than you.
Yeah.
I know Jerry Savelle will talk about that a lot. So you talked about influence. I want to get into that a little bit because I recently had, you had him at Overflow Experience, Ron Starling. I had him on the show and he talked about the heart of God is people, the heart of influence is people. And if you have influence, you have a responsibility. It's not just to be flashy and to be famous, 100%. But you actually have a responsibility. Talk to me a little bit about that principle.
Well, influence is not about you. If you have influence, the focus isn't you, it's others. I think people have an inverted perspective. They think influence is about who I am and why people like me. Influence is about how you serve other people. Like if you are an influencer on social media, people look at your page because it does something for them.
Yes.
It makes their day better. They enjoy what you say. It makes them laugh. If it didn't make them laugh, you wouldn't be important enough for them to give you views.
And if it doesn't impact them, you're not an influencer. You're more of a content creator.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter what you are. If it doesn't impact them, it's nothing. Yeah. So all that's to say, like, whatever your influence, however you got it, it was because you were serving a purpose for other people.
Yeah.
The faster you realize that, the more you realize that influencers are servants.
Yeah.
And everything we do is to serve others. And that's what leadership is all about, And I think when we understand what that's all about, it's like, do you love the people that follow you? Do you care about them? Do you want what's best for them? Or do you want to use them as leverage for something for yourself?
Wow. Yeah.
And, that's a shortcut to success, but it's short-lived. Because once you run that path and it's all about you, when things shift and change, you won't love people enough to accommodate that change. I think that's something that I've learned in every influencer. And I don't know that I'm an influencer, so to speak. I have a ministry. I'm a recording artist, a worship leader. There are some people that just create content and they just influence with their content or this their daily activities. So it's a little different for me.
Yeah.
So I think every person should be focused on how do I serve people well.
Wow. I feel like I'm in the lab with you. I feel like this is the same thing you're doing when you're mentoring and pouring into these creatives.
It's what I do constantly, and I've just accepted that that's the season of life I'm in, and that's what God wants me to do. I'm sure I'll be doing that till the day I'm go to heaven. And so I coach every month. I have folks online that I meet with and just sit with them and grow in that community, because it's conversations like this that need to be had. There's so many people that we follow that we like their performance, but they don't really teach you the process.
Or it's like there's an oil that you can see on a 12-second Instagram clip, but that came from a place in the secret place.
Yeah.
Or it came from a depth. It's not just talent. It's not just
100%.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important to have, not everybody, but some people, to take some time and walk people through. What does God require? What does the word say? How do you do this? What are we doing wrong? How do you bring correction along with affirmation and encouragement? And how do you get people to maximize their God-given purpose? Well, God put you on this earth, and live a healthy life while you do it.
That's the recipe right there. That's the formula. So how would you say that they maximize it, and how do they not get shipwrecked at a young age and get caught up in the clout, or get caught up in the 50 people were deeply touched, but for me, I was thinking about NBA 2K the whole time I was singing, or whatever it may be. Like, how do they really carry that gift? Not just carry it, but care for it.
I think the most important thing you can do is focus on your own process.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that pace can pick up faster than your process is actually developing you. And so I think, as I think about, I've got, my nephews and my son and talented kids.
Yeah.
My advice is take your time. Take your time. Don't rush this. If people like what you're doing at 16 and 17, they'll really love it when you're 22. So take your time and grow up, because you don't get to grow up again. A lot of people end up, like skipping the process. And then when people expect them to be well-rounded adults, they're not. And so now people that were praising you, they can't stand you. Because now you're acting like the undeveloped 16-year-old that you used to be, but now you're 26. So it's like you have to take your time, because it's appropriate to be immature at 17.
Yeah.
It's also appropriate to be in school at 17.
Yeah.
So go through the process, take your time, invest in development, get mentors, and let other people be a part of your growth process, so that you don't disappoint people in the future. I mean, people are unforgiving. Like, once you turn them off, you can't really turn them back on.
So tell me about that. And because we think about fear of man and cancel culture and all these things. Tell me about something that you've either observed or your experiences with that, because people are unrelenting and many times unforgiving.
I'm definitely not gonna call any names, but there are some people in our culture that we have seen succeed and make some really terrible decisions in front of all of us.
Yeah.
Now it's like you got to go on the campaign and tell everybody you changed. Instead of focusing on the message that make people better, now you need people to learn a new narrative about you. And that narrative, while it's important, it's also a distraction from the message. It would be just easier to go get the message from somewhere else.
Yeah.
than to try to sit through a whole thing for you. Like, hey, I'm not doing that no more.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure if you believe me, but hey, guys, don't judge me. Don't be a judge. The church is always judging.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about the church judges and this and that, as opposed to just delivering the message that people need to hear.
Yeah.
And so all this to say, like, when you see that, I think everyone deserves restoration. But once you make certain decisions, it's really tough to get back into that position, because it's a lot of clutter now to get people to understand and listen to what you say. Now, for me, I don't think this is about being a perfect person.
Yeah.
But I think it's like, as soon as you can, find the first opportunity to develop and to grow and have people be honest with you and teach you and learn and really take your time before you get out on that platform. Like, I am so grateful that my aspirations and ambitions did not take me as far as I wanted them to, as fast as I wanted them to.
Yeah.
Because I already know I wouldn't have been able to handle it. So I'm on the trajectory that God intended me to be on. And I didn't, there's certain mistakes I made, but I didn't have to make those mistakes while preaching the most important message of my life.
Yes.
That's really tough.
And having the greatest visibility of your life, because everything you just described, it makes me think about the viciousness of visibility. It's a vicious thing, and it's the price that you have to pay, and it's just human nature. I mean, star quarterback, college football, does something crazy. It's very different than like a dude that's just like the best video game guy in his friend group, because no one's looking at him.
Right.
But the principles are still the same. But, so let me ask you this, because you're in a lot of worlds, CCM and gospel and just various open doors that the Lord has granted to you. I like how you talked about unity with revival, but before I go there, would you say that maybe there's times that, because we know that every open door is not an open door, from God at least. Would you say that there's almost a danger in some of the open doors that can be presented to you when you're not developed yet? Like, let's say you're 17, like you said, should be in school. But let's say, like, whoever's popping in worship at the time, let's say you got a gospel soulful sound. Whoever's popping in CCM likes it. Hey, let's go on tour. I'm in school. Homeschooling or virtual. We'll pay you big bands,
Yeah.
Would you say there's almost like a danger? Not that there's an industry, but there is, but almost like a danger in some of those open doors, and maybe people they don't care about your development. They just care like, hey, let's utilize you. Let's platform you.
We're in a capitalistic society. So most people are asking you to do things because of the benefit it will bring them.
What's in it for me?
So if you got to have people that care about you enough to make sure that this is in your own best interest.
Yeah.
I think if you do that, put God first, put wisdom first, don't make decisions that are truly not in your best interest.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, no matter how old you are, how young you are, it doesn't matter. If it's in your best interest and there's a way for you to grow and be healthy and to do that and for God to be glorified, you should consider it.
Yeah.
But if truly there is not a way to do that, and it's not a way that seems apparent, and there are far more cons than pros, and there's no urgency from the Holy Spirit to do this at all, it doesn't matter what the situation, what the age is, don't do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. God doesn't lead us into these decisions to exploit us. Other people do.
Yeah.
And God doesn't need you out there prematurely.
So one thing you talked about off camera, and I've been thinking about this and discussing it with a lot of my friends lately, is the concept of we focus on obedience and faithfulness and doing what God has told us to do, and we let Him focus on the outcomes. And it kind of ties into like an abundance mindset. Like, hey, I just focus on trusting in God and being obedient and staying faithful, and whatever's for me will be there. I want you to talk about that, because I think many times people call faith what's really force. They're trying to open their own doors. They're trying to manipulate it. They're good with people. They know how to work a room, and they know how to, and it's not always evil. And maybe God has an open door for them, but it's like they're trying to open the door that God's opening and then just giving him the credit. And it's like, well, are you in faith or are you in force?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important to make sure that whatever you do, it's obedience.
Yeah.
That's at the forefront of it. And so in order to obey, you got to hear the Lord. I think if you focus on hearing God, having faith in what he says and obeying that, everything else takes care of itself.
Yeah.
I think you sometimes can be so wrapped up into the future that you're not doing the work that's right in front of you. You can't work on the future. You can only work in the present.
Yeah.
Now, you work in the present to prepare you for the future, and sure. But you can't work on future projects. So you can only take one step at a time. You can only drive, from the place you are physically, literally. So I think that's really the point of it. Obeying the Lord right now. That's how you get to where you're going. Just dreaming about tomorrow and forcing your way into the future, thinking about the future, you'll end up ignoring your family, ignoring your development, ignoring the things that are clearly right in front of you because you're looking so far out the windshield, you're not even appreciating the passenger in the car with you, or the pedestrian crossing the street, or the scenic view all around you. And so all that to say, I think it's important to obey God in the now season.
Yeah.
Because that's the only step you're going to take that's going to lead you to your next season.
And these are things that you've had to put into practice.
Oh.
And you're mentoring people and you've got sons. Which I love that video, the Christmas song, that you had multiple of your sons in the video. Y'all all sang. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But as you mentor people, those are things that you're letting them know, because you can come alongside someone and say, hey, I can help you anyway, but I care about your soul. I care about your development. I care about you stewarding what's inside of you and stewarding your life more than I care about launching you out into the deep and then you shipwreck. And then now you're like a therapist trying to help them get sane again.
Yeah.
So, wow. So as you're spending time with the Lord, what are you learning? Well, what are you seeing differently? How is your mind renewing at this time?
I mean, I think what I've just shared is what God's telling me.
Yeah.
It's challenging me to have faith. It's challenging me to obey in this season. Whatever season you're in, you're facing something you never face. Challenges and obstacles you've never seen. And so in this season, I've got bigger mountains, harder challenges, bigger budgets, bigger projects, more people to reach, more responsibility. And it's, it gets easy to compromise under that pressure. So I'm learning to trust God at this level and have faith at this level and obey at this level. That's huge right now.
Because I notice there's a lot of people in the body of Christ, they're carrying and stewarding vision. And it takes big steps, like you said, big budgets. And the trust in God, you have to be so convinced that what you see in front of you will not trump what he said in his word.
Yeah.
And not in a hype yourself up way, but it's got to be something that's so consistent over and over and over. So are there people that you would say you're pouring into? And we'll get you back in a moment.
Listen, I'm like, where are we going? Because I'm like, you've been driving and getting on every highway.
Known to Dallas.
Like, where are we going?
So are there visionaries that you would say you are stewarding? And then how do you speak to them? Like people that are under you, they're receiving from you, but they're carrying vision. What do you say to them?
I'm telling them the same thing that God's telling me. I don't think it's different for anybody. I think it's a matter of being vulnerable enough to share your own journey.
Yeah.
There's no secret to it. There's not some secret thing the Lord is telling me that he won't tell you. And just taking people on that journey with me. I can't take everybody, but there are people that, the Lord's given me grace to walk with, share with. What I'm learning, I'm sharing it with them. Simple. I think that's the simple thing. So many of us are so busy doing everything that we feel we're led to do and there's nobody in the car with us. So, yeah, that's my heartbeat.
We got to ride with him. We have to make sure not just have him in the car with us, but let him drive.
Yeah, but not just having the Lord. I mean, like having other people.
Yeah.
Like people that are watching you, people that you can share with, people that you can, they can glean from your journey. They can even see your mistakes.
Yes.
Help them not make the same ones.
So let's imagine you're in a session, and we'll wrap up after this. Would you just speak to the camera and just speak to the underdeveloped person that fits into the criteria of the type of people you're typically pouring into? They're underdeveloped, they're gifted, there's lots of things in front of them, but they can get cloudy, they can get distracted, they can get caught up in the fame, they can get caught up in and not even bad fame, but just the cloud or whatever. Just speak to them and share what they need to hear.
I just want to affirm you that you are called, that you are talented, and you are gifted. But there's a whole lot more in you than what meets the eye. Like, you're more than talented. You got so many things inside of you to be expressed. And they're not all dormant, but they need attention. It's like God created a garden when he made you. And some of the plants in your garden have blossomed, and they're beautiful. And there's a lot of other plants in that garden that need water. And so I'm going to encourage you to take the time to evaluate what else is in this garden. What else has God gifted me that he wants me to steward? That's what God did with Adam and Eve. Put them in the garden and told them to tend to this garden, be a steward of this garden. Everything in here is yours. It's only going to grow according to how you invest in it. So take care of it. But if you got amazing potential that you're not tending to, then when those things don't blossom, that's not God's fault. That's yours. But it's not God's gift. It's yours. He gave you the gift.
Wow.
So steward the gifts, commit to the process of development and growth, and find resources, mentors, places, environments that under accountability and care, you can grow and flourish.
That's so good. Accountability and care.
That's right.
That's so good. Well, Michael, thank you for choosing to ride with me. I'm always riding with Jesus, but I got you here. And I won't do that remix. I'll keep it.
Oh, yeah. Keep it between your fingers. That is none of our business.
That's right.
We're not going to be nosy either.
You said nobody's searching for it.
No.
Nobody checking for it.
No.
Well, hey, this has been a great conversation, and I just love your heart to pour into others. I think that you are a voice to this generation. I feel like if I say you're like a father to this generation, that's kind of like unking you out. I don't want to put you on like unk status, but
it's all good. I mean, everybody is growing up to be a father or a mother.
Yeah.
So it's a compliment if your people are seeing you that way. It's a compliment. If you don't want to be a father or a mother, I guess you're about to go to heaven. Because that's the only thing you can become.
And God bless you with great fathers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And mother figures and all sorts of people. So I'm thankful for your deposit. I'm thankful for your pour, your supply. I'm throwing out all the words that the Christians say.
Right.
But truly, thank you for being here. Thank you for making this time. I know that you're kind of having a busy time, and I'm just glad you could be in the car with me. It's been a great conversation. Thank you for tuning in, and you develop and you take care of your gifts and you steward what God's putting you the right way. We know you're going to flourish. We're cheering you on. And make sure you make it out to Overflow Experience Live
2026. March 5th and 6th.
March 5th and 6th.
Go to michaelbethany.com, click Overflow Experience Conference, and register right now. And if this comes out before the 15th, they'll get the early bird specials.
This is going to come out quite literally on Monday.
All right, well, then they can get the early bird specials.
You can get the early bird specials. So you make sure you tune in, and we'll see you soon. Happy New Year.